It's time for Coming in Hotter, Sens post-game show.
Live from the Sports Interaction Studio, it's Coming in Hotter with Cody Gaudreault. Jamieson Bridal is back from his turkey-induced coma after Christmas. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for turning your volume off.
Every single show. Oh, yeah, that has volume too, right?
It's good to see you again, buddy, but I don't even know what adjective to use for this game, man. Like, Christmas break.
Tired.
Owen said it in the chat. You said it. Christmas break, they just don't seem like the same team. Team's been put in a blender. They're going through it. They're ending 2025 on a pretty bad foot. The vibes are bad.
The vibes are
What's going on?
Vibes are questionable. I see a very tired team. There were the drips and drabs here and there of big hits and 2-on-1s and shorthanded opportunities and all these. They were all there, and then as soon as that specific play ended, it was back to a very and it just you wanted more. Just a little more. It was so hard to ask for just a little more, and it's not like they have to go on the road tonight. They're not sad to be leaving. They're home. I don't get it, man. I'm with you. The adjectives are aplenty. I'm just not sure which one works.
So I know we don't have access to the coveted panic button. Should I text?
Are you ready?
Here? Should I text?
Are you ready?
Here? I'm personally not.
Okay.
But I wouldn't blame you if you thought about it.
I thought, see, that's different. Have I thought about the panic button? Yes, of course I have. There has been thought about texting Wally for one of our own. I mean, I'm not sure how that works. He
said it's a budget issue, whatever that means.
But I think he likes to be the chief panic button pusher, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. This is a big boss decision, and that's the kind of thing that he needs to do. I'm not there personally. If it were beside me, it would stay beside me. For now, I don't, and I think I'm saying that for the same reason I did a couple of weeks ago. The logjam continues. It's the points, while important, are still there. It's still not. No one's running away with anything at this point.
Yeah. I really was hoping you'd say yes. I love the chaos going on here. They're ending 2025 on a bad note, but then fine. I'll settle it. You're boring, JMO.
I get that a lot, actually. Yeah.
Oh, really? I'm sorry to hear that. You're a good guy. I'm kidding. Yeah, it's hard to point out a single thing that went wrong in this game again. But I'll start off with getting your thoughts on Maryland, and obviously no Allmark because of his leave of absence. And then Maryland, and I mean, if you want to call it, you called it a goalie battle a little bit earlier, and that's not completely wrong.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Played out of his mind, but yeah, take it away, man.
They both kind of did. Jed Greaves played out of his mind is the only way you can put he's the first star on NHL.com for a reason. That guy, 24 years old, undrafted. That kid didn't he start this season coming in relief of Elvis, potentially even in the last time we played when we beat them 6-3?
Correct.
Correct. This is somebody who has risen to the challenge, and I'm not ready to harp on Maryland because I felt that he definitely kept us in the game. He kept them. He gave them. This is what he did. The opportunity to take and build, and they didn't do it. They had one goal that came off of a killer right pad save from Maryland, and did he let in 4 goals? That second goal especially, I'm not a fan of. Like, off the point, okay, it was a nice shot, and Severson's on a bit of a streak right now for a 4-goal per year defenseman. Mm-hmm. But that was a brutal goal. You don't let that one in. You know, that's pretty unfortunate. And I mean, look, nice. It's just an open lane. Really? And that's a wind out of the sails kind of goal. But even then, I'm not putting this solely on Maryland's shoulders. In fact, I would give him 25% to the 75% to the rest of the team. They are the ones who let this one down big time.
Yeah, the numbers look bad on Maryland, but I don't think we can blame this loss on him at all.
I mean, they held them to, I think it was about 4 shots for the entire second period. So they
Correct.
showed up for that period. But, one thing that we definitely need to talk about, and I think it's starting to get more and more talked about as we get further into the season and trades become more likely, there was a very, very serious lack of finish on the chances tonight. Like that was
that's what I was getting at. There was not a lot of scoring going on, and I think if we want to point at one general big thing, because we love overgeneralizations here, the offense not working out was the big hurt for the Senators tonight. That's my opinion.
That's all there was. There was there was Greg ended up on a 2-on-1. He ended up alone in front. There were phenomenal chances, shorthanded and even strength. There were so many golden opportunities. And look at what was I can't remember the number right now. I know you've got it in front of you. How many shots did we get in 4 power plays tonight?
4.
Yeah. That's
4.
Great.
And
just
two of them coming on the first power play.
Yeah.
So there was a power play with 0 shots, 2 power plays with 1 shot.
I think Josh is on the money right here, and it's something we've seen spurts of, but I'm struggling with you, Josh, to see the identity that they built last year, and I don't understand how it's slipped. This is the same team, barring Lars Eller, who wasn't there tonight, and Curtis McDermott, who I have a bit of a bone to pick with. Like that's it. They're the same team right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll get to individual players, but let's talk about the betting segment real quick, because it didn't go well for myself. 1 for 3, and of course the one I had was the easiest one to get. But I know you have bone to pick with certain players, so we'll get to that real soon. So this segment is brought to you by Sports Interaction Sportsbook and Casino. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. Bet the action on every period, every shift, every shot with Canada's homegrown sportsbook. Sports Interaction. Ontario only, 18+. Please play responsibly. I had faith in the Sens heading into this. Spence to get a point. I talked with the smartest man in hockey for the first time on the show last game, and although that game was a stinker against Toronto, Spence had a good game, and I fully agree with Yorkie on that. So I thought he would just keep it going, and then at least get a point. And I mean, first 10 minutes of the game, he looked all right with Shabbat. Then the rest of the game happened. We'll get to that a little bit later. Yeah, the vibes were not there tonight. Then Tim Stützle to get 2 goals. Now, that wasn't totally unfounded. I want to, in my defense, it was, obviously didn't have a great game. The only point he notched was the assist on the only goal. But he's a guy who scored 2 goals twice before against the Columbus Blue Jackets on a 10-game point streak now.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, he was on fire. He didn't look terrible tonight. Didn't look amazing. So, yeah. And then Levi Meriläinen, the one that actually did work out to stop, 23 or more shots. That had negative 110 odds, so, was going to happen. But, again, going back to he played not he played pretty good. But, yeah, and, I mean, look at those odds on that Stützle bet, man. When I
that's
realized,
exactly where I'm looking right now.
Exactly. When I realized, hey, it's happened twice before.
That's a great
stars are kind of aligning, and then of course people started talking about a trap game tonight, and I was like, no, I need Stützle to play good, and he doesn't play good in quote unquote trap games.
He is not a trap player.
He's not a trap player. He's a little mouse.
No.
Oh God. Don't let that be his new nickname.
Oh God.
But anyways, let's get to the bone picking here, because I know you wanna go off on that. Every game is your game when you bet with Sports Interaction. From puck drop to overtime, bet with live odds on every play with easy deposits and payouts. .com/cominginhot to open an account. Ontario only, 19+. Please play responsibly. Okay. I know you have a certain... What are you laughing at?
I'm loving it, Zoe. Timmy the Mouse. Yes.
God, what have I done?
It's
What have I done? I know you want to get to a certain person who dropped the gloves against another certain person that likes to drop the gloves.
Yeah.
First, Andy, you had the Severson goal up. If you can put that back up. Like I said, I had faith in Jordan Spence, who had a really good game against Toronto. It starts with a turnover from Tkachuk in the offensive zone. Those happen.
Mm-hmm.
What is Spence doing in the neutral zone?
I don't know.
That's a giveaway. We pucks, passes off the boards are something that I already feel iffy about.
Yep.
And then he tries that.
I can't help but wonder, is he relying on his winger to come back and cover? I don't know who it is that's waiting on the blue line. And I think he realizes that there is that third person. I think he thinks he's got the odd man rush covered. And then he realizes, oh shit, I don't. And it's at that point, it's already leading to the drop pass. So again, you're right. That is a pretty bad play, but considering the goal itself didn't come from his side of the ice, I still got to put this one on Maryland.
Really?
Yeah, I know. It's such a long shot, and for the period he had and the saves he made, they were giving him those looks because he was giving up some rebounds, and that's neither here nor there. I just think it was not the goal he should have let in. The timing, a minute 19 into the second period, it was all wrong. And for better or for worse, he should have had that one. I don't know why I said for better or for worse there. It doesn't really make any sense. Sorry about that.
For better?
Yeah.
For worse?
For better, yeah. I try to sound smart sometimes, but it comes up and really not.
No, I'll give it to you. The timing of that one really hurt. And yeah, no screen on a shot from the point.
It's the one you're
right.
You're supposed to have that. But you're also on the right track. He looked like a lost Spence. I'm back to you now. Looked a little lost in that somewhere between center ice and the blue line, it all went out the window. It was just like, okay, you're there. So it's a tough one. And you're right. Owinator is right. They're both guilty.
Fair enough. Now, actually, little thing I want to add too while you're stretching and maybe get your pre-workout ready. Spence still played over 17 minutes.
Holy Jesus, really?
Yeah. And I mean, that's still a good chunk of time for he is. Now, his usual partner, Chabot, played almost 23. So obviously Spence took a shift off or two. I don't know what exactly led to him getting less ice time, but I'm willing to guess it's Green going like, hey, you messed up, sit down. But at the same time, still having a guy play 17 and a half almost minutes in one night, doesn't sound like the type of guy who made a huge mistake. He had about a shift with Clevin, but apart from that, he spent he played pretty much the whole time with Chabot. Actually, they're the deep pairing that got the most ice time, 14 minutes. I want to see in the chat when we get I want your opinions, and while we're talking about our next little thing, I want your guys' opinion on Spence, because I'm seeing PRG 17 minutes too much. I've seen him in the chat a couple times. He's not a big fan of Jordan Spence, but I want to get other people's opinions because he's a guy who's, I feel like the general consensus on him has been up and down since the beginning of the season. So I want to see the opinions while JMO takes it away talking about Curtis McDermott.
I love the guy. He is exactly what we need. The record speaks for itself tonight, notwithstanding, when he's on the ice. But when do we see the fighter of Curtis McDermott? When do we see the raise the spirits on the bench, going to town, knuckle chucking, big bad dude? He's a big dude. He's 6'5", a bad guy. Yeah, I don't want to start off with him. That's angrier Tkachuk. That is what that is, and that's scary as all hell, if you ask me. But tonight, and all the fights I've seen, we were joking before, It's and look, I've been in. Well, we don't need to talk about that.
No, please, because I want to talk about the fight. I want to talk about the fight.
I don't know.
Actually, I should say fight.
That's well, the ones I've been in were a lot like that too. But you know, I've never been in one on skates. I've never played organized hockey. Fun fact about JMO. But I don't understand why he's lining these guys up. And the Mathieu Olivier thing, that's an inevitability. I get that. He's going to fight tonight. They've fought before years ago. They have a history together. But that wasn't a fight. As soon as Olivier landed 2 punches, he just took all 240 of those pounds and hurled them to the ground. And don't get me wrong, that's awesome. But is that the role is that his role? Is that what he's supposed to do? Or should he not be a little, and people are saying in the chat, bring back Hodgson, because at least he's, throwing them and he's trying and he's inciting some kind of riot on his own bench. But I don't know. That's my 2 cents. Curtis, don't beat me up, please.
I'll try to pass the message, but no promise.
Yeah, just tell him I'm a big fan, and I can.
I'll tell him you're
scared than he can angry. So
I'll tell him you're actually like 7 feet tall and 300 pounds.
Absolutely,
maybe.
Yeah.
Hey, you can't tell on camera. Yeah, there you go.
Huge, bro.
Speaking of not being in a real fight, I have been in a fight on skates. There is a video of that. So maybe one day.
Andy.
Andy. Oh, Andy doesn't
find
have
the video.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times I have to repeat that for a guy who plays under 3 minutes. Most of the time he's on. Like he's taking the spot of someone else that could be there, and then ends up only playing less than 3 minutes. Sure, there's the on the bench factor. Sure, there's the like chemistry he adds on the team. Like we're not in the room.
Those are the unknowns.
We'll exactly. What we do see is a fight that was just for show. Yes, two heavyweights. Mathieu Olivier is probably the best fighter in the NHL. Curtis McDermott's going to want a piece of him. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good heavyweight bout. When I saw them drop, I was like, wow, this is going to be entertaining. I was let down. But then what started that? Like, you want fights to come out naturally. Like, that was early in the game where the tension was, although it was starting to build up, wasn't at that point yet. And nothing came out of it, first of all. But then to have the whole, like, I mean, it's kind of his signature, but McDermott kind of just going around at the beginning of a fight when they're sizing each other up. Like, that just makes it feel even less natural. Like, there was no hatred behind that fight. Like,
there was nothing that, if it had spawned from whatever happened where Stützle took Severson to the ground and there was all that sort of melee, or when Zetterlund got his penalty because he got absolutely hammered and got up and decided to take Fabro's face and rub it across his shoulder. I get that. These are moments where, and maybe your point about the fact that he plays 3 minutes or less a game is exactly the problem we're not picking up on, because he's not on the ice for these. And it's, I mean, from a fan's perspective, I'll tell you, we all agree if he comes over the boards for something, that is so much better. But, I just think it's all those points you hit were bang on. There was nothing really there. It was one of those old George Larac fights where, they're talking at the line, and as soon as the puck is dropped, it's a good luck, it's just seems to me that it would be maybe a position worth thinking about. If you're looking for a shakeup, maybe the chat's right. Bring in Hodgson. And we said this last show, maybe McDermott takes it under his wing a bit and says, yeah, I'm the, it was, as my old professor in radio school used to say, you always kiss the ass of the guy on his way up, and that's the way it's got to be. He knows he's on his way out. He's not going to be in the league much longer. Hodgson has a chance, but I don't coach the team. And I will say, I did notice somebody in the chat, Yashin 19, bringing up the trade Brady thing. I have not seen those, but I'm going to jump on your train immediately and say, yeah, If you think trading Brady is ever an answer, there's another show for you somewhere over there. Just leave, because that's bye. Thanks.
All right,
that's crazy. Who's saying that? Because he's the other
going
guy.
back to that Rangers thing.
You want a guy who's going to ignite anything out of anything? Yeah, let's trade him.
All right. I think that's enough on the fourth liner.
We'll see about
I'm
that.
going back to the chat, going back to the Spence thing. The chat is split, man. Like Owen Ader pointing out that he did have 3 giveaways. That's very true. 3 giveaways, no takeaways. Like usually you don't see those in a on a defenseman, because it's weird how they count that stats. Again, just over 17 minutes of ice time. A lot of what I'm seeing is he's good. He's a good player, not the right fit, which I think is completely fair to say. Like, how many times have we talked about you need that big presence on defense, where like that big presence on defense, you want someone physical to play, to counteract what Chabot can and can't do. That's pretty much it. So I agree with that. Like, it harkens back to the Chychrun trade. Like, people are pointing out Jensen was scratched tonight. People pointing out like, oh my God, we're scratching the guy we traded Jacob Chychrun for, who is having an amazing season. Like,
sure is.
I think we always knew it in the moment. Chychrun, it was the better player in that trade.
Yes.
But he didn't fit the Sens. Like we talked about it.
There's no room for him here.
Like,
where do you put?
You have Chabot, you have Sanderson. Those are your 2 lefties. If you want to play a lefty with 2 lefties together, there's a whole other can of worms you can open up. Which
we did that.
Like it could happen. That's what they did.
A whole year.
Or you play Jacob Chychrun, a guy who is like, I'm not going to say Norris caliber season, but if Makar and Hughes didn't exist, he might have been in the conversation to play on the third deep pair. That can't happen. So bye-bye. Let's get a guy who, at least fits. But yeah. And then everything else happened with Jensen, who played amazing when he came back. Like, people were seeing that trade as a win at first. But yeah,
you're on the right track there, I think. And I've harped on Jensen, and I'll come to his defense when it's due. And this is one of those times. You're right. Jacob Chychrun was the better player in that trade. But that you don't always go 1-for-1 skill set. And what they got in Nick Jensen, they needed. They needed a second, maybe third level player, a pro. They needed a guy to come in and settle in with the Matt-and-Palo and Clevin class to let the Sanderson, Zub, and Chabot situation grow on its own. They needed somebody to eat a few minutes, because who knew that Sanderson actually was ready to start playing 20 to 25 minutes a game and take a little bit off Chabot. But that's the answer there. You're never going to trade Jacob Chychrun for Jacob Chychrun. You're always going to trade somebody for somebody else who may not be, and that's life.
Breaking news.
Oh, yeah, right. Funny how that works out. Speaking of trades, though, wasn't there one right before the game? Like, is that what held the plane up in Columbus today, or what happened?
I thought it was, but yeah, since you brought it up, let's talk about it real quick. I mean, we're not a Columbus show here, but I just wanted to point out how it was kind of funny how there's always something that happens when, like, there's weird things that happen before teams play the Sens. I don't know, like, you already have the plane delay, and now you have this, like, them trading Igor Shinnikov to Pittsburgh right before the game. Like, Chinnikov's the guys that I actually like, those 3 Russian guys they have in Columbus, and Voronkov, or had, I guess, in Shoronkov, Chinnikov, and I'm forgetting the other one's name. Guy who scored the last goal, Marchenko.
Yeah, thank you.
Those are 3 guys that I really like seeing, just because they're kind of, a big miss, like kind of those players that are really unpredictable, but they're fun to watch.
They're a lot of fun to watch
in general. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was funny. But yeah, Columbus sending Chinnikov for picks and Danton Heinen to Pittsburgh. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. You brought up Fabian Zetterlund a little bit earlier.
Yes, I did.
16 minutes of ice time and a takeaway for him. If you want to put up the clip, Andy, of his penalty, which it starts off with a super nice defensive play to break up a 2-on-1.
Phenomenal. That was
really great. That's a Fabian Zetterlund play of just tenacity, not giving up. Then he takes a hit from Cole Sillinger and then turns around and gives an elbow.
Yeah,
look,
it was a retaliation hit.
I'll start with the Sillinger hit. It's a scary hit. It's, contact to the head obviously happens as Zetterlund is falling. Yeah. If you want to just put it back, Andy.
I want to see if he loses his footing. Like this year, I love that play right there. But I want to see why he's so low and takes this hit almost to the head.
I think he just falls. And so I understand him being, pissed about it. You can't do that. You can't turn around and elbow the nearest guy.
But hold on, you can't. I'm not going to defend it, but I am a little. Is that not one of those moments where you're doing something? It's 0-0. You're 13 and a half into the game, into the first. It's been a pretty good game. Big saves, both ends. And yes, you're taking a penalty. You shouldn't do that ever, especially in the offensive zone. But you're putting a little fire in there. You're showing some emotion. Is it that bad? I'll just say it that way. They scored.
It's not bad to see fire, but you start a fire by, hitting someone, getting a good opportunity, maybe starting a legit fight. You don't start one by elbowing a guy right in the nose, giving
it feels really good,
and they end up scoring right after. Does it? Zetterlund sitting in that penalty box, and right as he comes out, he sees Boone Jenner put one in the net. Does that feel good?
No, but the elbow does. Probably. I mean, I've never elbowed somebody in the nose. Maybe I should try. I don't know. It's could be.
If anybody wants to volunteer, you can just show up at the pub and say, "Hey, JMO, I'm here for the elbow experiment," and then
we can try it back and forth. I should find out the receiving end just as much as the giving end. It is the Christmas even. But that's
just make sure you bring your elbow pads.
Oh, that'd be so painful. Oh, you're right. I didn't think of that. See, I agree though. That's a goal that you can't really get mad at Maryland for. Nice little tip from Boone Jenner of all people. Why is Boone Jenner alone in front of the net there? It's a power play. I know you can't cover them all, but Boone Jenner.
I mean, it's right on the tail end of a power play. Like the zone entry was at even strength. So no, you have
fair.
Yeah, you have like it's a legit concern.
You're saying there's a chance that I'm right. All right.
Yeah, but it's another game where Spence goes to chase. I think it was Sillinger into the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Sillinger turns around, puts it in front of the net. Shabbat hadn't caught up yet, and boom, goes in. Maryland, I'm sure he wants that one back. He kind of just cheated off the post, and that's where the puck ended up sneaking in. But again, like this is the type of goal. It's another type of goal that was just. I'm not going to say it was as bad as the Toronto game, because Toronto game, literally everything that could have went wrong for the Sens went wrong. But this game had, ever since the other show, Yorkie's like made me realize how much I use the word vibe. But that goal was really the vibe of like, hey, like I tried and I made a mistake and it didn't work out, but it was the type of goal that just happens, And I hate using that excuse, but I really think that's the case. Josh, good try, by the way, using the Gen Z slang on. Good try.
I don't disagree with Bruce here. He just put it really well in the chat. You start a fire by disrespecting your opponent's strengths, and that's a fair point.
I kind of want to expand on that. Like Josh, if you want to add it back in or was it Josh? Sorry, Bruce. If you want to put it back in the chat, like why do you like? Can you kind of explain that? Because I think I know what you mean, but JMO, what does that mean to you?
That means take out your frustrations on the scoreboard. That means it's the point you were making. I think, it does, to my point, feel good in that millisecond of, gotcha. That feels good. It feels better to take that hit, stay on the ice, look around, maybe get into that scrum that happens on the sidewall, and then go and take it out with another nice play or go score a goal. Do something. That's the vibe I'm getting.
But
there you go,
is
from
Columbus's chance not being elbowed in the nose? I'm confused on how that relates to strength. Like, sorry, strength. I said chance, but I meant strength. Like, is Columbus's chance?
I think when he said strengths, I think he means go after them. Like, use your frustration smarter. You know, and that's because the funny thing about it is what he's frustrated about is tripping before getting plastered into the end boards. And that
no, I'm sure what's going through his mind is I just took a dirty hit. I don't have any doubt that that's it wasn't a dirty hit, but sometimes in the moment that's what you think. And
fair.
Like, yeah. But again, like you think you take, like, okay, let's say you're carrying the puck in the O-zone and you feel a stick on your legs and you fall, and the ref ends up not calling it because you don't see it, but everyone on the broadcast goes, that's obviously not a trip. You kind of just lost an edge. You don't turn around and slap the guy in the face with your stick.
You're right. That would have been far worse. No, but you're right, and you're on the right train there, and I think that's where it's their strengths obviously aren't that they're a physical team. I don't really equate that with the Columbus Blue Jackets. I think their strengths are that they ended up winning the game, and you're right. You don't trade tit for tat physically. You don't, whether you're pissed off because what you think happened, whether it did or not, didn't get called or dealt with. So you've got to deal with it yourself. Sure. But I'm going to go back to my initial reaction and say that I'll give him a pass, knowing, and let's assume he did know all this. It's 0-0. There's a decent pace building to the game, and you're just trying to rough it up a little bit. You're going to take one, and you're going to pay for it. I mean, as Mei Lee just pointed out, Travis Green just called this one of their worst games of the season. 100% agree with that. Best, yes, 100%.
Mm-hmm. The identity wasn't there. Like
which identity? Because they've had about 3 of them this year. And I feel like none of them.
Any of them. Yeah. Another thing, Clevin and Pinto, I almost called him Sanderson. Clevin and Pinto coming back for Pinto being out 10 games. Like when I saw, there wasn't a lot of buttons, Zoe. Pinto being out for 10 games, it felt like way more than that, first of all. Mm-hmm. But then actually seeing him back, you noticed him a little bit in the first period, I thought.
Yep.
And I mean, the same applies to Clevin. It didn't feel like the team looked that different, as different as they did when they did have them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I may have noticed towards the second half of the game some timing cues that I would have rather Pinto not have. If that's being out for 10 games, so be it. I don't know if it's a momentary thing. I mean, towards the second half of the game and for the second half of the game, there were a lot of missed passes or, ring around the board to nobodies. And there were just a lot of silly little things like that. The first half of the game, Pinto had, I just had it written down here he and Greg on the second Columbus power play ended up on a shorthanded play. That's one of the biggest moments I talked about earlier with them needing to finish their chances. That was an incredible save by Greaves, but it all started with a hell of a play in the first period, mind you, from Shane Pinto. I wish it could have gone. Clevin, can you hide rust better on defense when you're a big stay-at-home defenseman? Is that, am I crazy for saying that's possible?
No,
you're not playmaking. No. You're not all you have to do. Someone's gonna beat me down for this one, I think. But all you have to do, if you're not feeling that pace of game, if you're not, just make the smart play. take it, put it into open ice to your partner, finish that check, cover your man, do the most basic plays that potentially a forward who's got to lead the play, a center like Shane Pinto needs to be the guy. And yes, Clevin was only gone for 3 games, but I think you're on the right track in saying that it didn't feel like there was as much of a polar shift as maybe would have been expected from their return, especially Pinto.
You know what? That's fair. That's not something I had thought of, but yeah, you're right. Like Clevin obviously just in general also has the smaller role, but you're right. It's like being the defender. It's a simpler, I guess, position. So yeah, you're absolutely
right. It can be. You're not talking about a playmaking defenseman here.
Exactly. And no, you're right. Like let me check actually on the ice time. Clevin he still had just under 14 minutes of ice time, so it's a lot more.
Yeah, he played a game.
Yeah, Pinto getting just over 18 minutes again. Like I just don't. Yeah,
and how much do you love Pinto missing 10 games and still coming into this one with 18 points? Like, good for you. Just right. What a season, and if
he's all right,
if he picks it right back up from there, maybe he's one of those room guys we hear about. Maybe he's the guy who they've been missing. And I don't know. There have been a couple of people mentioning in the chat tonight that ever since Brady came back, I'm sure that's where the stupidity kicks off about, that. There's been a lot of people saying there's been a bit of a shift since some people have come back into the fray that that go get him mentality left. Well, he'll be back. That's why I'm not hitting the panic button. I know
how high were the vibes before the Buffalo game.
So good.
That was 3 games ago.
So good. That was that
exactly.
Wow.
That was 3 games ago. So, or 4, I guess, if you include tonight. But
yeah, that's fair.
And looking at the standings real quick, Red Wings are still the Red Wings. Like Lightning are on a tear. They're the ones that if I'm the Sens, I'd be really scared of. But Red Wings have 2 more games played than everyone else in the Atlantic, and the Senators are 3 points away, or let's call it 5 points away from a playoff spot.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
So,
wow. Are the Wings not in town next Monday?
Is it on the Monday? Yes. Yes.
Then
next Monday.
I know this isn't where we were in this conversation, but I'm going to tell you one thing. That's going to be the day, and I'm at that game. Actually, I get to go to that game. That will be my hit or not hit panic button day.
Okay.
I'll put that stamp right now, because with them being as far into they're at 49 points. They are, if anybody is taking their jog and turning it into a sprint in the points race for the East, it's the Detroit Red Wings. And you're right. Tampa Bay is looking very, very good right now. Montreal, a bit of an anomaly there. Got to hand it to them. They're still putting points in the bank. Will it continue? Guess we'll find out. But being at 41 points, being 3 out of the wild card and 5 or 6 out of that playoff spot next Monday night is the night where you start to go, oh boy, what happened?
Yeah. Before we move on, we just had 2 chats in a row. Shabbat's doppelganger and Mike, just talking about the lack of. I'm just gonna oversimplify there because it's not exactly the same message, but just the lack of effort, talking Shabbat doppelganger bringing up what they owed in front of a crowd, a sellout crowd tonight.
Yep.
Just I don't know, a lack of intensity, maybe if we want to use that. Did you feel that way during the game?
That's exactly how I felt.
Okay.
For people to bring up the paying public, my son, even when he sat down with me, pointed out, oh, I bet a lot of these people are there because they got these tickets for Christmas. Yeah, and that's part of the gig, man. You're not just going to work when you're an NHL player. You're there to put your best
I
on
see.
the ice every single game, and they didn't do it tonight. They did not do that tonight. There are no Columbus Blue Jacket sweaters in the stands of a sellout crowd after Christmas in Ottawa. There are no, unless your family plays for the team or something like that, you're not getting buses from them. That's an Ottawa crowd tonight, and they didn't deliver.
Columbus fan catching a stray for absolutely no reason from JMO. So yeah, just the kind of game you want to move on from. I'm a big fan of Kent Johnson. Just pointing that out. I really like Columbus as a team. So
they're a very well put together team.
Yeah, and just because I'm on the subject and I brought up Kent Johnson, and because I kind of wanted to talk about it. Back in the good old days where Canada was a lock for the finals at the World Juniors.
How are we doing right now?
Well, they're winning 7-1 against Denmark. So,
it's Denmark.
But going back to 2022, 2022, after the COVID year where the World Juniors were in the summer in Edmonton, right after that McTavish save right at the goal line that everyone remembers, who scored the game-winning goal, the gold medal winning goal in overtime against Finland right after McTavish stopped that puck right at the goal line?
Was it really Kent Johnson?
Come on. Of the Columbus Blue Jackets. And I was at that game. Yeah, Zoe, come on, man. I'm trying to be sympathetic to Columbus.
Zoe's getting #1 fan badge. Yeah, you win. Zoe wins.
You know what? Fine. I should be careful. She has video editing powers and access to all of our videos here, so I should be careful.
Cody got into a fight on skates video, Cody. Zoe. That's between somebody who is far smarter than me.
She's already done this to me.
Yes. This is my favorite. Oh, that's like that guy that my son watches, that Canadian dude who does all like the teacher videos. What's that guy's name? Anyways, doesn't matter.
I have no idea. Okay.
Some guy on YouTube.
Anyways, I just say that because I was at that game and I was sat pretty much perpendicular to the Finland goal, and I saw every little bit of movement. It's one of my core memories.
That's a good memory.
I love it.
That's a good one.
Memory. I am a hockey Canada fan. If we really talk about hockey fandoms, I don't have to be, but I am.
I've taken passports back for less, so I'll. I think if there's one thing that I do need to talk about for tonight as well.
Oh, okay.
If I may,
go right ahead.
Can somebody please explain to me the line juggling that happened? And does that
read my mind, JMO? Read my mind.
Does that contribute to not being able to find that mojo? Not being able to find, I hear a lot, and again, this is coming from the fan's perspective, the non-hockey playing player guy here, this man here. I have to believe in how much I hear from people when they say that it really does matter that you play. And I hear about it on defense, but it's got to matter on forward too, with the same dudes. Is that not a thing? You want to get used to these. You want to find that jam. And to me, I was confused, I have to admit, by seeing Batherson and Cousins, Rich Cuz, with Tkachuk. That line doesn't really, I don't get it.
Like it? You don't like it?
It's not that I do like it, but when you're trying to find a spark, that's where you put Brady. Bring somebody up to his line. So, don't move him back.
Yeah, Jesse, come on, stop writing stuff right as I'm about to say it. So Yorkie talked about it last game after the Toronto game. When the team's just playing the way they were, you have to do something. And blending the lines like that is exactly something, especially in the top six. And it worked partially against Toronto. You put that Tkachuk, Cousins, Batherson line on the ice, and boom, they immediately come out with a goal. This game wasn't exactly the same vibe, so I get the skepticism behind it. JMO should be a coach, by the way, according to PRG. I'm
into it. I'm into it. Call everyone.
And then this game felt like even more of a blender. Like you saw Giroux playing with Stützle at one point. Like, actually, I have the ice times in front of me, so I'm just going to make sure. But it just felt all over the place whenever that started going. And it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like it wasn't just like only after an intermission or something. So I get the idea behind it, but it was done in a confusing, I'll call it, way. Because
that's where I am too. And I guess
like
I should have elaborated further by saying I hate the word, so I'm not going to say they were playing it because they weren't. It wasn't a trap game, but Columbus was playing a much slower and a much more surgical game. They were, the Toronto game, you're right, it worked then, but that is a fast-paced, back and forth, intensity-driven, bam, bam, bam game. This wasn't that. And I think you need to take that into account not if you're going to juggle the lines, because I should have prefaced it by saying I understand coaches do that and they have to.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mentality. You have to be able to read what the other team is doing and say, you know what, maybe that's why you put Giroux in place of Stützle on the top line and bring a more cerebral, slower, bring it down to this level. I don't know. That's where I got very confused.
We've been bringing it up at least to the forwards, like especially when Zetterling is brought up in conversations, but you need a consistency in the lineup. But again, if I'm guessing he comes back against next game against Washington after New Year's with the same lineup, so I don't want to read too much into that. I think it was just let's fix it for now, and then we'll fix the bigger issue. But something has to be done in the moment, and I think that's what happened. By the way, I don't know where I was thinking that. Giroux played 47 seconds with Stützle, so it's a shift maybe too.
A shift. Yep.
Maybe. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's the type of loss you kind of just want the Sens to move on from. Last little note I've got is the high danger scoring chances were really low in general. Like Sens didn't have any in the first period, which
weird
explained exactly how you felt. 2 for Columbus. Then it flipped. It was 3 for Ottawa, 0 for Columbus in the second, and then 1 for Ottawa, 3. So it's total of 5-4 for Columbus, which is really low overall, especially like looking at the amount of shots. Like I know, but shots and high danger chances are completely different, but usually there's a little bit of a parallel. 28 shots for Ottawa, 22 for Columbus, and then 5 high danger chances for Columbus and then 4 for Ottawa. That's just, I don't know.
Does it not play into the fact that they were playing a smart, slow game? They were on a back-to-back. They came off a plane 2 and a bit hours before the puck drop. They played their cards very, very well tonight. They really, really did. The Sens, I don't know what that was. And it was pretty quick out of the gate where it seemed a little less intense, albeit, again, I digress to Saturday night being very intense, but it was a very different showing. And that's been the theme of this conversation in the chat and between us tonight, especially. Which identity are we going to get? Is this a Jekyll and Hyde team, or can they just choose one and do that every night?
Boom. There's not much to add to that. So let's start looking ahead. They're off until New Year's, which actually I'm realizing is only 3 days away. Oh my goodness.
That is, Thursday night.
That is scary. That is scary. Actually, I just saw this in the chat. Or actually, Josh, if anyone wants the profile pic for Toasty. You can read it because I'm not finishing that sentence.
ChatGPT would, come on. How do we get that? Is it a brand that you get? You heat it up and you do bread? Yeah, when I worked for a friend of mine in his restaurant.
No, I think he means they're just like a picture of it.
No, we're making this. I know a friend of mine works with metal, and this is. I need to call Sean. That's what I need to do. Sean Paul. It's great because his name actually is Sean Paul.
Sean Paul.
But his name truly is that.
Yeah. Zoe bringing up something kind of funny in the chat too. Would you rather, because of your actions here on Coming in Hotter, be named the new Ottawa Senators head coach, like we were talking about a little bit earlier? Or
this is for me. I see. Good.
Would you would you rather have a mug?
I think one would parlay into the other because if I were named Ottawa Senators,
Travis Green doesn't have a mug. Travis Green does not have a mug.
But I would answer questions when Wally inevitably had to ask me to be on the big show because I'm now the Sens. See, it's layers to the answer. So I think one would lead to the other, and this is a great idea.
Okay, fine. Then which one would happen first? The mug or the
chicken and egg? I see. I'm sticking with Coach here. I'm sticking with Coach. That's what's happening. Oh, this is going to be so much better. Now, can I keep my normal job and this job when I become the coach as well? Because I like both of the jobs I have now. And if there's a third one, it sounds great. I just, I understand that when you leave, you get replaced. And I don't want to go anywhere, So that's all.
I mean, you know what time is, right?
Oh, man. I just
like being an NHL coach isn't I'm just gonna go back to the pub on the side. Like, no. It takes a little bit of time.
They've never had me as a coach, though, have they? This is the thing. This is, give it time. I will point out once back in my radio days, I did leave a voicemail for Eugene Melnick at the CTC, suggesting that I could be hired. If I go, I don't know if I have it. It might be somewhere. I called him Uncle Huge, but I didn't. Yeah, it was a great voice. You would have loved it. I really hope I have that audio somewhere.
If you find that audio, I will share the video of the fight.
Oh, all right. Okay, now I got
Jake on it.
Jake.
And yes, Jesse, I'm not saying I want to see Travis Green fired. However, if Travis Green being fired means JMO replaces him,
that's a very good point. We are not calling for that. We do not go after people on the team. That goes for the people I saw earlier. I got to put this out there before we call it a night. That goes to the people I saw earlier mentioning jokes about Ullmark. We don't do that. All right. He's doing the right thing for him. Good for him. Hats off to you and best to you, Linus. I definitely wouldn't want to see Travis Green fired either because you know what? He kind of scares me a little bit.
He's a big dude.
Is he?
Oh yeah, he was a bruising defenseman when he was playing.
I've never even maybe it's because he's he is that big. I don't equate that. That's
his hockey DB says 6'1", 195. And that beautiful picture of the flow.
He's got a couple inches on me, although I got a few pounds. His are probably a little more usable than mine, but that's Christmas weight has gained,
Yeah.
You can't see me rubbing my belly, can you?
All right. We were supposed to talk about Washington, but we're completely off the rails now.
1 p.m. game. I'm worried now. It's a 1 p.m. game.
It's an afternoon game on New Year's Day, but the big question I wanted to ask you before we get to Washington, ham or turkey on the holidays?
Oh, turkey. I cooked my first turkey this year. I've never done it before. And I didn't kill anyone.
Did you fry it?
No. God.
Oh, okay. Good.
God, no. It's a terrible idea. And you?
Okay. Oh, ham. 100%.
Really? Ham on Christmas?
Ham over turkey. Nothing against turkey, but ham's just the better thing to eat.
Next year, I'm doing both just to mess with the system entirely.
Graham's on your side. Fried. Well, unless he just means fried. I've never had actually fried turkey. So
Graham's right. Fried turkey is delicious, but he's got the entire fire department on his side when it goes bad. So this is. I've seen it go bad. Thankfully, outside.
Have you?
All right. So that's. Oh man, it was hilarious. And then the next morning when we were sober, we realized that really wasn't that funny at all because it goes down to the lake and then you see the lake is on fire because that's how oil burning works. And you're like, this is new. And yeah, that was fun.
Josh, I'm gonna stick with you though. Tortilla.
Oh, yeah.
Number one.
Proper tortilla is the best.
Absolutely. Okay. Sens are playing Washington. You're right. 1 p.m. game, which is super weird.
This worries me greatly.
What do you mean worried? What do you mean?
We don't do well in the afternoon, man. They never play well in the afternoon. I realize it's at home. I know people automatically think I make that distinction because it's New Year's Day. These are professionals. They're not going out and getting schnockered before a 1 p.m. game. The Ottawa Senators, since they became a team and I started paying attention, the Ottawa Senators have a bone to pick with afternoon games.
Okay. So Maryland obviously played tonight. I don't. Moving on from that.
Mike with the comment. I'm sorry, I gotta say it. Mike Valcor, and we played so well tonight.
Yeah. Oh man. All right.
Gold.
Oh, like speaking of Hunter Shepherd's pie dog, Shep dog in the chat. Like looking at next game, honestly, whoever's starting in net for the Sens is up in the air to me. Like it's enough rest time for Marylainen, who, although he didn't have the best game, now that he's your number one, you kind of have to stick to that. Shep dog, he got brought back. He's, with all the hype the main show has been giving him, maybe he'll just get in off of that. Or there was a report earlier today, don't remember from who, saying that Sogard might get called up. So, like, honestly, anything could happen. For the meme, I hope it's Shep Dog. I really want to see that T-shirt get printed out. Shep Dog, Shepherd's Pie. Yeah. Speaking of Shepherd's Pie, yes, it's really good. It's not a Christmassy meal, though. It's not a Christmas holiday meal. So, yeah, but nothing.
Nope.
Yeah. Washington. Leading them in points, a certain Tom Wilson, who is a scary dude. Then they have a certain Alexander Ovechkin, who you might have heard of, in second place. No one over a point per game for them, but I'm seeing a lot of guys who have like a respectable amount of points. Yeah. Well, what do you see in Washington?
I see a team playing spoiler. I see a team who they will play and try as hard as anybody would. Are they playoff bound this year? Do they? I don't think so.
They're in more of a playoff spot than the Sens.
True for now, and that's why I was sort of hesitant in saying that. I realize that it sounds a bit ridiculous when they're ahead of the Ottawa Senators. I don't know that I don't know. They're kind of one of those teams that, because of Ovechkin, because Tom Wilson's, the closest thing to another unicorn that's out there. He's got the hands, the size, the grit, and all of it. I think this could be a very good game for the Ottawa Senators. This contradicts what I said about the 1 p.m. thing in the afternoons. I do think they go Marylainen because nobody knows how long Ullmark is taking the time for himself. And yes, Levi Marylainen is the number one goaltender right now. Could that change because something else? But the first 2 games since this news breaks and you find your new footing, you play them right off the start. And hopefully they build off that confidence. Hopefully they find that identity and choose one. Just play with the grit that the Ottawa Senators. I'm going to go on a tangent here, so that's where I'm going to end it.
Well, okay. Well, because I was going to bring up last time the Sens and Senators meet. First off, it was the first inaugural coming in hotter episode.
Yes, it was
after a 7-1 Senators win. So if they can find even half of the energy they had back in that game, I mean, sky's the limit to what can happen there. But I completely agree with you. Like Levy being the number one, he needs to find his find the groove. But yeah, like it's another game with, who said it in the chat? Was it Turan? Sorry, I hope I'm saying that right. Like after what we saw tonight, nobody knows what the Sens identity is anymore. But they have a couple days to find it. 2026, they get a clean slate. Because that's how the Sens work. And yeah, like Logan Thompson's on a tear, so he's going to be tough to figure out if he's the starter. And like you brought it up, Tom Wilson is always the X factor on that team, but
He really is.
good team. They're a good team, man. Like they're like, I'm looking at their lineup, like they're really deep. Like Ryan Leonard, who's like a really good young player, is currently listed on their third line. Like their fourth line is I'm seeing a lot of young guys. We talked about Jacob Chikrin, he's there. So
he's some guy that's okay this year. He's like that Veach kind kid you were talking about.
Overchicken?
Yeah, Overchicken. Yeah, he sounds all right. He'll probably have a decent career.
Graham refusing to take the night off in the chat too. Sens are 4-2-1 in the last 7 games against Washington.
That's another very good point.
I'm not going to come on the pod, but I'm going to put a bunch of things in the chat.
It's okay. We still love you, Graham. It's okay. I think it's going to be, like I said at the beginning, earlier in the show, it's going to be Monday. There are 3 winnable games, including that one with the Eastern leading Detroit Red Wings. Yeah. There are 3 winnable games coming up between now and a week from now, and that is a test to your point. Do they use the arbitrariness of a new day that means a new year as that, that springboard? Who knows? Frankly, and if it's better than tonight, I don't care. That's great. Be awesome. Be whatever it takes. Be that.
Yeah. Just clarifying the schedule. It's Washington on New Year's Day, Winnipeg the Saturday after, and then Detroit on Monday before they go on a road trip, Utah, Colorado.
That's also a very good point. They're all at home. Sorry I interrupted you.
No, absolutely. It's okay.
We're all at home.
Doesn't hurt my feelings.
It's okay.
Next game, it's the
everybody wants Graham.
Josh is cracking me.
I'm going to Graham's house.
All right. Well, now that JMO has officially retired from the show, and if you want to get Graham in for the last, we're wrapping up the show. If he wants to come in after we've been going for an hour, just to help me say goodbye.
Hey, it's an hour. Hey, what a show!
Yeah,
what a day.
But yeah, next game, Washington's going to be a 1:00 game, so maybe be careful with a little bit of a hangover going on New Year's Day.
Don't listen to him.
Not judging.
Not judging. Make your decision.
You're the own yourself. As someone who sells alcohol, that is exactly the answer I expected from you. But
you make your decisions, man.
It'll be me. Said Kuda's gonna be coming back for his second post-game show, so I'm sure we're all. I'm really excited to have him back. He was great in his first show. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. We'll see you guys a little bit later. But JMO, I feel like you were about to add something, actually.
I'll see you next Monday. That's my next time back on the pod with you. So
I'm
maybe
gonna miss
I'll find
you.
some kind of button to push. I'll miss you too. Happy New Year, buddy.
I know. Hey, yeah, that's true. Like last time we'll see each other in 2025. Last time I'm going to see all of you guys in the chat.
I'll see you next year, bro.
Yeah. See you next half decade. I
Nice.
remember 2019, 2020. God, I had a guy. I was back in high school. I had a guy saying like, "Hey, because 2019 is turning into 2020, I'll see you in 10 years." I'm like, "That's not how that works, Jack." Anyways,
That's okay. Jack should have been there in 1999. That was a party.
19?
Shut up.
Oh yeah. All right. We'll see you guys after Washington. I wish you a happy new year, a great and healthy 2026. Yes, I am wearing a jersey my sister brought back. I saw a couple people in the chat saying that, but we're running out of time here. But shout out to her. She's going back to Iceland for New Year's. She's gonna dominate the Icelandic Hockey League there. But yeah, we will see you guys after the Washington game.
You've been watching Coming in Hotter, your home for Sens post-game coverage all season long. We're live after every game. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a show.